Welcome to day 2 of 100 days of automation. Today we are going to create a Slack command to schedule meetings in English. This is how it works. I'll go to Slack, I'll do /meeting creator, and then I'll paste my prompt, which can be schedule a meeting from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. IST day after tomorrow with support at craftar.io, and I'll press enter. Awesome. So our meeting has been scheduled, and now if I go to my calendar, we'll be able to see our meeting here. Let's create the automation from scratch. So the first step is to configure a new Slack command. So we'll go to api.slack.com/apps and we'll create a new app. So we'll click on from scratch. I'll create it as meeting scheduler, and then I'll click on select a workspace. I'll choose Craftar and I'll click on create an app. Great. So now we need to click on /commands and we need to click on create new command. So now we'll define our /command. So we'll call it scheduler and we need a request URL. So this is where Craftar comes in. We'll need to create an API and paste in the URL. So we'll go to Craftar and we'll click on create a new API. We'll call this API extract data and schedule meetings. Great. We'll click on create. Now we have an input and an output. So first we'll just connect the input to output to set up our webhook. We'll click on save, then we'll click on publish and then publish now. Now I can go to run API in browser and I can copy the URL. Now we'll use this URL inside our Slack app. So we'll call it a short description, schedule meetings, type in English, and we'll just click on save. Now we need to add this app to our workspace. So I'll click on basic information and then go to install to workspace. Now we can choose and click on allow. Awesome. So our app is now installed, and if I go to Slack, I can click on schedule and I can see my scheduler. Now nothing will happen because we haven't configured anything. So let's do that now. We'll create our logic in Craftar. So first I'll cut this connection. Now Slack text sends us the text that the user types in a text field, which is of data type text. The value, I'll just create a prompt, schedule a meeting between some times and send an email to someone. So now we need to extract this information, the times and the emails from this text. So I'll go to algorithms NLP and extract information from text. So this block takes in a text and returns entities. So let's just connect it now. I'll connect start to enter and exit to end. And then I'll connect my text data to text input of extract information from text. And now I can click on play. So once I play, we see the data flowing, and now I can look at the entities extracted. So this block was able to extract email and the time ranges. Great, this is what I need. So I'll cut this connection now. There's a lot of extra information here which I don't need. So what I can do, I'll create a new block called remove keys from list. So I'll connect the flow and I'll pass the entities to data, and then in keys I'll want to extract emails and I want to extract time ranges. So I'll type those in here and I want to keep them. So if I play this again, so in my trim data I will now only have emails and time ranges. Awesome. So now we have the data we need, but we need to send it to Google Calendar and create a meeting. So let's just click on save, and now we'll go to Airtable. So in Airtable, I come to automations and I click on add trigger. So the trigger we need is when webhook received. So what we'll do is we'll extract the information from Craftar and then call a webhook in Airtable and generate a meeting here. So I'll copy this webhook and I'll come back to Craftar. So we'll cut this connection again and create a new block. we'll search for API connector. So this block lets us call any webhook or an API. So I'll connect the flow, and this data would go into my data. The Airtable webhooks are of type post, and I'll copy the URL, I paste it, and now I can just call this. So if I click on play, awesome. So now we've called this webhook and it was successful, and I can come to Airtable and click on test trigger. So we can see that this was successful and all our data has come here. Great. So now our webhook is working. We'll add an action in Airtable. Our action would be Google Calendar create event. Great. So I'll select a Google Calendar account. I already have one configured. I'll select a calendar. Now our time, instead of like a static value, we'll choose a dynamic value, and we'll pick this time from our data. So I'll go to time ranges and from. Same with end time, I'll choose dynamic, and then I'll go to body, time ranges, and to. Title, we'll just give Slack meeting invite. Description we can leave empty, location empty. Attendees, I'll choose body emails, and then I'll also add my own email here. Great. And then I can choose a video conferencing, Google Meet, and now I can test the action. Great. So our meeting is getting generated. So we have all of the things set up. Now we can go back to Craftar, and we'll create one small notification to send back to Slack. So we'll go to integration and then go to Slack, block builder, and plain text. So we'll write a small text, your meeting has been scheduled, and we'll connect the end. And what the output that Slack expects is a blocks data. So the data type is any, and I'll just connect JSON to blocks. Great. So now whenever Slack calls a webhook, it sends us a text. With that text, we extract the entities, we clean the entities, and we only extract email and time ranges. We call a webhook on Airtable. Then in Airtable, whenever the webhook is received, we create a Google Calendar event with that data, and when that data event is created, we send a message back to Slack saying your meeting has been scheduled. So now let's save and publish and test. Now we'll go to Slack and say /scheduler, schedule a meeting with support at craftar.io from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. IST tomorrow. So once I do this, we get your meeting has been scheduled, and now we'll go to Google Calendar and we can see that we have a meeting from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. Awesome. Thank you so much. This was day 2 of 100 days of automation. I'll see you tomorrow.